to create this place that's safe and secure in the home. Like a place that he can come to and literally just take off the weight of the world. You have got to become more selfless. You've got to. Hello, and welcome to another video. So in today's video, you see the title. We're going to talk about womanhood, that Proverbs 31 woman that everyone talks about, not a lot of people want to be. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I'm going to give you a few pointers as to how I kind of remain present in the home. We might get into a little bit of my business, who knows? But without further ado, let's get started with today's video. All right, so as you guys know, this is about to complete my first year of being like homeschooling Kennedy. This video is not about being a homeschool mom, even though I am going to give you some things at the end of this video. And there's a reason why I think homeschooling is good, even though I'm telling you right now, sis, it's a lot of work, okay? But just when I take a gander, when I just look off and I see what's going on in the world, my son still goes to public school. My son came home yesterday telling me that instead of stretching in PE, they actually do yoga now. Yeah, you know I was mad. I said, if you do not want to participate in yoga next time, let me know and I'll write a note. Because he's 15 now. So he has to come to this place where you know, he knows, but you have to come to this place where you stand up for what's right and what's wrong. That's neither here nor there. We're not even going to get started with that. Okay, don't get me started because I will get started. Don't get me started. But I noticed that when I go out with my daughter, not a lot of people are familiar with mothers being mothers. Like, women outside with their children is still a very foreign thing. And it's so crazy because at one point in time, it was expected. Now it's like, oh, she's not at school? Oh, what are you guys doing out here? It's like one of those type of things. And I want to say that on the flip side, I watched a story recently about, I'm not going to say all the story because I don't do that here. But I watched a story about a little kid, a first grader, doing something pretty terrible to his teacher. And I'm thinking to myself, the home is not right. I can look at a situation, you probably can look at a situation as well and see there's something off at the home. And once I saw the mother, I knew exactly what is off. So I realized, I told you guys this before, I have a mandate to speak to women. I wasn't always the woman that you see sitting before you today, okay? At one point in time, like I told you guys, I was a teenage mother twice. So we come a long way. Okay, this has been a long journey. And I know some people want to think that right here, me sitting in front of you began the journey, honey. No, it didn't. I'm 30 now. I had my child. I got pregnant when I was 14 years old. I had him when I was 15 years old. So he turned recently, this weekend, as a matter of fact, he turned the age that I was when I had him. So celebration is in place, absolutely. But there's some things that we must get right for the family system to really do what God intended it to do when he created it. So before I go into these points, I want to say who I'm not talking to. I'm not talking to you and your boyfriend. Okay? I'm not talking about you and your boyfriend raising the kids that y'all have. I'm not talking about that because that is not the way that God has painted the family system. Y'all decide to get married, come back and watch me. Come back, we'll talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about it. I'm also not talking about you and your girlfriend. Woman, you and your girlfriend. I had to say it because I see in society now, people are considering two women a family system. It's not. There are some structures that's not there that God intended to be there. That's why he placed them there. That is not present when the same sex people try to get together and raise children. There's a lot missing there. And I've seen it. I've had it be very close to me. You guys know I used to run a daycare. I've had families inside of my daycare who were in same-sex relationships, and I saw what that looks like for the child. I'm not talking about that either. I'm talking about a man and a woman coming together in marriage, has children. What does that family structure look like? Okay, what does it look like, and what are some of the things that go on inside the marriage, you mom, that can help you make this thing go smooth and also come to the consensus that, girl, society been feeding us the wrong thing. Okay, that's kind of where I want to go in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start first in my business. When I first got married, I have a bunch of videos for you guys about just some stories, right? When I first got married, I was definitely in the kind of like independent mindset, right? I didn't really have family taking care of me. I was doing everything by myself. I still had my son at that point in time. So I had a lot going on. I had to work. I had to do all the cooking, the cleaning, everything I had to do by myself. So when I got married, I did not know that it was not appropriate to take the whole, I'm going to do this all by myself with me into marriage. It don't work like that. Okay, so I thought that I needed to have me a full-time job, also do all the cooking, also do all the cleaning, and my husband didn't tell me that I need to do any of that. I want to say that. And when I stopped working, like I have, since we've been married, if I'm real honest with you, I haven't been working. So for the last 7 years, I haven't like had a job that I had to have. I've been doing my own businesses and working little part-time jobs here and there since we've got married. So I thought though, so I struggled. That's why I kept going back into the workforce, because I'm like, I have to somehow bring some money into this house. Like it makes me like, how can I just be sitting here doing nothing? Well, it's not really sitting here doing nothing. There is a job that the woman should be doing in the home. And I'm not saying that it doesn't have anything to do with you earning money, because if you go and read the Proverbs 31 woman, if you go and read Proverbs, I'll put the scripture for you on the screen. This woman was doing some of everything. Baby, she was making clothes, she was making food, she was doing some of everything. She had land, she had property, but she didn't get any of those things, excluding what her duty was, and that was her family. So if you're working in the place of being a mother, there's a problem. If you're working in the place of being a wife, there's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you're balancing them all, baby, there is no problem. That's exactly what the Proverbs 31 woman is doing. She was balancing them all. But a lot of women want to say, well, I'm doing this, so I don't need to do this. No, if a job is causing you not to be a good mother and a good wife, the thing that must go is going to have to be the job. It's going to have to be the job. So like I said, when I first got married, I'm like, I need to be working. I need to be making my money. These are my bills. I need to be making my. That's what I was doing. I'm just being honest with you. I never really was a person. You guys know I don't really like to fold clothes. I never really was a person that liked to wash. I didn't like to wash dishes because I grew up washing dishes. I was washing like the house dishes by the time I was like 8 years old. So I kind of was being very rebellious in my actions, if you know what I mean. Like I don't want to do all. I knew that it was something that I needed to do, but like I don't want to do all this. I grew up cooking, helping my mother cook meals for the house and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I'm not doing that. I'm not cooking. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I will say that the Tanzania that sits here before you today does all that aside from wash clothes. My husband didn't push me to do any of these things. I stepped back and I said, man, this man will give me anything that I want. He will work if he can't afford it, like with his job right now, he will pick up another job and work to give me anything that I want. Why would I not want to prepare a hot meal for this man? Why would I not want to make sure that the house is clean and tidy and welcoming when this man gets home? I had to begin to ask myself those questions. He didn't ask those questions to me at all. However, I noticed when I took this I ain't doing all that standpoint, the home began to fall apart. You know why? Because somebody has to do it. So then my husband, who's focusing on his job and the way that he provides for his family, then has to pick up my slack. And I saw this really played out when I went to the military. My husband was working his full-time job. Even though I was getting paid when I was in the military, he still kept his full-time job because he's a man, right? And that's a part of what he does. He kept his full-time job, baby, and then he was cooking, cleaning, taking the kids. It was crazy. There was no nannies. There was no, nobody transporting kids. He did it all. And him doing that all was too much. Some of you women who watch me right now, you have your husband doing it all, or you're doing it all, and it's too much. Okay, so we really want to stick to, and I'm gonna get to that here in a second. As a matter of fact, let's talk about it now. Don't be afraid of roles. There are certain things that you do better. There are certain things that your husband does better. Don't negate to realize those things that you guys do better because of what society says. Like, let's take society out of our homes altogether. Open up. If you want a good picture about what a woman and a man, their roles, open your Bible with me, okay? Find yourself a good story. Find yourself a good story and read it, and begin to look at the relationship between a woman and a man. I want you to do that. Please. It helped me. Please do it. Okay? Forget about what society says about how the inside of your home should look. Take a look at, if you want to look at anything, look at the mess that they've created for themselves that's now coming on display. Okay, if you want to do anything, take a look at that. Don't be afraid of roles. Like I said, my husband still does not like for me to take out the trash. I, however, don't mind taking out the trash. He doesn't like me to take out the trash. However, I mentioned to you guys in the beginning, I thought like I needed to be, doing all the clothes. Girl, I remember trying to do the laundry. Girl, that laundry would be there for weeks, okay? It would be like clothes would be in the dryer. Some clothes would still be unfolded. I do not like to do laundry. My husband loves to do laundry. He said it reminds him of when he used to do laundry like in his childhood. So he will wake up on Saturday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and be up in here doing laundry while I'm asleep. He'll be doing it on this side of the bed right here while I'm asleep. And we don't have a problem with it. He loves doing the laundry. He actually told me, honey, you should have asked me to do the laundry because I love doing the laundry. And I'm like, take it. And I'm telling you, that was 6 years ago. I have not tried to do laundry since. Now, if there is something dirty, like yesterday, my daughter messed up one of the rugs in the bathroom. I took the rug and I put it in the wash machine. I'll do laundry like that, but like doing the laundry, like taking a laundry basket and doing all those clothes, I'm not doing that. It's not a thing that I like to do. I don't complete it unless the only time that I've known myself to complete the laundry, let's say my husband, is when it's in service for him. So let's say he has an event and he's working along, like his weekends are long and things like that. And I know that he's not going to have time to do the laundry. I will just feel compelled to do it to take the load off of him. But it's not my duty in the home. Okay, you know what I mean? The same way I didn't used to like washing dishes, but I realized, okay, I'm cooking the meals. It's easier for me to make sure the whole kitchen is clean, heat up their meals, make sure their meals are ready. That's easier. Like there's supposed to be a level of service to one another that you have to begin to look at for things to run smoothly. As long as you look at things with a very much like, I ain't doing that. He can do it for himself. He can pack his own lunch. He can do that for himself. As long as you look at it like that, I'm telling you, I can only say it because it was me. As long as you look at it like that, you're not going to want to do anything. But the moment you say, if I had to work 40 hours a week, if I had to work 50 hours a week, if I was working all these hours, how would I want to come into the home? The moment you look at things like that, your entire perspective changes. See, marriage and family is it's selfless, okay? When you start to be very selfish, well, what they doing for me? Well, what he doing for me? Girl, I'm telling you, the house gonna fall apart. It's going to fall apart. I'm trying to save you the way nobody saved me, okay? I'm trying to save you. Let's move to the next thing. Find a way to financially contribute to your home that uses what you already have. And the only reason I say this is because one of the number one complaints with women, and I was in this position, so I'm speaking from experience here, is I'm not helping. Because you have it until you see your service. When you say you're not helping, that means you ain't working hard enough. Because I'm telling you, I could wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, however, and find something to do all day long that contributes to the house. So until you find the space, until you find your groove being at home and see the work that you're doing at home as work, you're going to think that you need to find something else to do. I'm here to tell you that you can do it all. You can do the cooking, you can do the cleaning, you can do the rearing the children, you can be a good wife, what do you call it? A lady in the streets, a freak in the street. You can do all that, and you can still find a way to put yourself in there. You guys know I have a crafting business. I'm making this YouTube video for you right now. There are ways that you can bring the you out, and that you makes you some money. There's a skill that you have, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking. There's something that you have that you don't have to throw your kids into the school system, and you don't have to let your entire home go. Because think about this. You let your home go, you let your kids go, but all these things going to come back to you at the end of the day, and they're going to come back to you in the same way that you gave to them. You gave nothing to them. You didn't give anything to the marriage, yet you want a thriving marriage. It doesn't make much sense. But I want you, because I know it's important, to find a way, if it's necessary, for you to financially contribute to the home. And I know a lot of people, so I read this, ooh, this is gonna be good. I read this, it was probably like last month, sometime at the end of last month. It was, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. A lot of people, a lot of women especially, will save money for a rainy day in that way. A rainy day in case my marriage doesn't work. Baby, I'm not planning for the case that my marriage doesn't work. I'm not planning for that. God knows everything, and I'm going to follow God's instructions. And if something were to happen, I know the God who sent me here, the God who gave me the instructions, is going to be the same God that provides for me, okay? And I can only say that. Why? From experience, because I've seen it happen. I'm not planning for anything, because the moment I begin to plan, I begin to partner with the enemy, saying that this is going to be destroyed, that this isn't going to work. I'm not doing that. I see a lot of people, especially girl, your grandparents and your mom and them will tell you, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. That is in the scriptures. But if you go and read the scripture that's in, it actually talks about giving to the poor. It says, don't go out here letting people know that you're giving to the poor. Don't go out here talking about your good deeds, because you receive your reward in full when you do that. So that is not a scripture about, well, I'm hiding money from my husband. That's what a lot of people will have you think. That is not true. That is misinterpreting scripture. That's not what it's saying. Go read it. I'm going to put the scripture for you on the screen. So I don't hide money from my husband. We share the same account. And the other accounts that we do have, like, like for other little things like that, we both have access to them. Okay, so we know how much money is coming in. And I'm going to take this time to say, when we first got married, I told you guys this in another video, it wasn't all that easy, because sometimes you'll have one person that likes to do a lot of spending and the other person is kind of looking more at the bills. You need to figure out what works for you. However, I would not suggest that you hide money in any way. Let me go back to what I was talking about. Find a way to financially do something that helps you to financially contribute to the house, because it will do a lot for your self-esteem in the home. If you're having a hard time seeing what you do in the home as work, and sometimes maybe your husband doesn't have, a job that allows him to fully support the family, that's fine too. Find yourself something to do. Okay, find yourself something to do. I'm gonna get into some of those things here at the end. That's not off. I just don't want you to fully give up your position at home to go off and do work. If you need to downsize. Do not give up your position with your children and with your husband to work a job. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's move to the next thing. All right, the next thing is get a schedule. I think I did a video for you guys about schedule. I'll go over my schedule just very roughly at the in part of this video. Getting a schedule is important. What time do you plan to wake up every day? And I'm not saying this has to be set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. That's a good thing about being at home. But there does need to be some sort of structure to your day, especially if you have smaller children, okay? What time do you get up? What time do you make breakfast? What time is the end of the day? What time is everybody need to be in their respective places so you can spend time with your husband? What time do you spend time with the children? What time are the meals prepared so that you can clean up the kitchen? You know what I mean? Getting a schedule helps you to put your home in order. Put it in order. Even a cleaning schedule, I love. Now, I'm going to tell you this, girl, since we downsized, I love it, okay? Since we've downsized, my cleaning time has been cut in more than half. I don't have to clean that much anymore, and I love it. I have ran into women who literally are so stressed out about the cleanliness of their home because they live in 4-bedroom homes and they have one child. So sometimes, just looking outwardly, saying what it is that you think that you need, getting all these things that you think that you need to have, puts you in a worse situation than you should be. I don't want to go into that, okay? I won't go into that in this video. But if you don't need a 4-bedroom house, you don't invite nobody over, some of you don't even have any kids. Do you need that, or you just want it because it makes it looks like you have something that you don't have? Okay? I'm just saying, you got to clean up a 4-bedroom house. And if you don't have to clean it, honey, you got to hire somebody to clean it. It's work. I'm telling you, we had a 3-bedroom apartment and it was a sizable apartment, but it was a lot of work. Cleaning was on a full schedule. I had to clean every single day. It was a thing. Okay, girl, this new space is good to me. Okay, I ain't trying to tell you to move out your house. I'm just saying you're going to need a schedule. Okay, let's move to the next thing. Stop letting these kids run over you. Stop letting these kids run over you. This one I should have said first. I see, the women who are at home, who have the hardest time being at home with their kids, who can't wait to throw their kids in the public school system. You know the public school system. You know exactly what they're doing. You can't wait to throw your kids there because they're getting on your nerves because you let them run over you. The parents who are at the park, the women who are at the park, everybody's having a good time. The kids running you. The kid's running you and you run down and you're doing all this complaining. Oh, I can't. That's just, I was dropping my daughter off at like this little, I'm going to call it a thing. Okay. Dropping my daughter off at this thing the other day. And the lady was complaining like, oh, I've just been so busy. I had to like go home and just make dinner, just complaining for no reason, just complaining. And the lady at the desk was like, well, you could start dinner all day. And the lady was like, huh? And I'm like shaking my head like, yeah, you can start. Who said you need to start dinner at dinner time? I start dinner at lunchtime. You can start dinner at breakfast time. You can prep dinner Monday through Friday and put it in the freezer and just take the meals out and cook them. You can prep the meals, like they don't have to be cooked. You can still make fresh meals for your family, but you can prep the meals. You don't have to pile everything in a day. See, the thing is you don't have any schedule, you don't have any structure, and then you're stressed out. And then you're walking around doing all this complaining, trying to get people to feel bad for you for how much you have to do. You don't have any structure. You're spending all your time scrolling on the phone. You're spending all your time minding other people's business, trying to do what they do, trying to have what they have, that you don't have control over what it is that you do have. Get yourself a schedule. Get yourself a schedule. Get yourself a schedule. Okay? And stop letting these kids run over you. Stop letting these kids run over you. The children need to have some sort of discipline. My daughter is here right now. And it's almost time for us to start our schooling for the day. I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit, but she knows how to behave. You know why? Because when I go out to the grocery store and things of that nature, I don't want to be stressed out. And I also don't want to push her off on anyone else. If my daughter stays home, like, you know how kids be out of school and they can go a little place like that? If she goes little places, it's for her. It's not because I need a break. Okay? And I used to have that mindset because I need a break. But you know why I had that mindset? Because my home wasn't in order. My home wasn't in order. Get your home in order. And part of getting your home in order is getting these kids in line. You're not about to run over me. You're not about to run over me. I love my children. My son called me a superhero the other day. And it almost brought a tear to my eye. But I am by no means. I won't be ran over. I'm a loving mother. I love my children, but you will not run over me. You will not give me a hard time. And some of y'all be letting these kids give you a hard time and then send them off, 8-9 hours a day. Some of you 10 hours because they go to like after school programs and you just let them run over the other people and they come back in here to running over you. It's a mess and we're not doing it. Stop letting these kids run over you. Get some order in the house, because let me tell you this, and I've said this before, you negating to give the children structure and order with you negating to help them understand what respect and honor looks like with you actually disrupts their relationship with God, because we serve a God of honor. We serve a God of order. So there's a way that you have to approach God. There's a way even that you must revere him, that you must honor him. And a lot of the children these days don't know how to do that to their natural parents. How much more do you think they don't know how to do that to their Father who is in heaven, who are not going to play you coming up to me any kind of way, asking me for anything? Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Let's move to the next thing. This is the next one. It's probably a little hard. Be grateful for what you have. And don't just be grateful inside. Show that you're grateful. Your husband, your children should know that you're grateful to have them. And I gave you an example about how you can go about doing this, but be grateful. Stop being ungrateful. Stop looking at what other people have and not being grateful for what it is that you have. Gratitude is the thing that told me, Tanzania, this man works all day long. The least you could do is give him a hot meal when he comes home. That's the least that you could do. You say you don't like to cook, girl. I get it. You don't like to cook. Sometimes I cook for him and I won't even cook for myself. Like, I'll cook a meal that they like to eat, my husband and my son and my daughter like to eat, and it won't be a meal that I like to eat, because it's not about me. And sure, there is an aspect that is about me, but I'll let my husband take care of that aspect that is about me, okay? And when I say about me, I mean service me. See, serving yourself is selfishness. Serving other people is a selfless act. And believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe, but you serve someone long enough, they then begin to serve you. So his duty is to serve me, and my duty is to serve him. But I wasn't doing all that much serving. Okay? I wasn't doing all that much serving, and I was complaining. Why you're not as loving, and why I don't get this, and where's all the kissing, and all that kind of stuff. You start complaining about all that kind of stuff. You want all that kind of stuff. Or sometimes it's the other way around. Start complaining about all that stuff, but a lot of people don't want to look at what am I not doing that doesn't allow the other person to give me the thing that I'm asking for. Remember I told y'all about that dream? My husband was looking for the dime. I was spending up all the money. Remember that? Well, in that dream, I told you guys, I was planning something real, I wanted something to go as I wanted it to go. And he couldn't even focus on that because he was worried about the bills. Well, that was a picture of my actual life. He couldn't focus on the things that I wanted him to focus on because he was focusing on the things that were important. And that was the things that I was failing to do because he wasn't doing what I wanted him to do. But at some point in time, somebody's going to have to be the bigger person. It says, even though you're not doing that, you're not doing this, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do that. I had to begin to look, God, what is it that you're asking me to do? Despite what it is that I'm not getting, what is my role? What is my role, and how do I play out that role? And I'm telling you, my entire life changed when I stopped thinking about how can they serve me? Oh God, I feel the Holy Spirit. How can they serve me? But how can I serve them? Despite how it is that I feel. Despite how things may not be going my way, how can I serve them? Lord, show me how to serve them. Show me how to I know it sounds crazy to you. I wake up in the morning, Lord, show me how to serve my husband today. Tell me the prayers that needs to be prayed on his behalf today. God, even tell me what he wants to eat today. Just tell me, just show me how to serve him. Because when he walks through the threshold of this door, I want him to know that he has a wife that loves him. And I'm telling you, this is the part of marriage that really gets the man to open up and to flourish. Gets him to open up and to flourish. I didn't even mean for this video to go this way. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That opens up for the man to flourish. A lot of women are walking around married to men that they don't even know because this man doesn't have a space to flourish because everything is all about you and what it is that you want. There's not a secret that my husband has that he wouldn't share with me. You know why? Because he knows that I cherish his heart on a level that's deeper than I can even comprehend. Honey, I wasn't getting to all that as long as I was being selfish. And for us, for women, it's easy. Girl, you'll go rattling off at your mouth. Hey, you'll go rattling off at your mouth for a man you don't even know. Men don't do that. But in order to create this place that's safe and secure in the home, like a place that he can come to and literally just take off the weight of the world, you have got to become more selfless. You've got to. And how did I start it? I started with something as simple as, I'm going to make this meal anyway. I don't feel like doing it. I've been cooking all this time. I've been cooking all my life. My mama made me cook and all this kind of stuff. And God's like, that was then. This is now. This is what I need you to do for this man. And it blew my mind and changed my life. And I want your mind to be blown. And I want your life to be changed too. Let's move on to the next thing. This is the next one. Get a little toasty in here. Be okay not doing something every day. I'm about to show you my schedule. Honey, I'm not doing something every day. I'm not going out there spending all my good money. Okay, I'm not going out there spending all my money. Now, it is the holiday time. I did make a video for you guys yesterday. I do like the holidays. Okay? No, I won't be setting up a Christmas tree this year. But I do like the holidays. I like to give. I like to give, and the holidays give me this time to give. I love it. I give all year long. But this is the time where the presents are out there. The things are on display. They're at good prices. It's just a giving season. I love it. Okay? Be okay not doing something every day though. I have set up a system to where my daughter gets the interaction with, her peers, kind of sort of thing like, with her peers and stuff like that. But I'm okay not doing something every day. I'm okay staying at home reading a book. I got a Nintendo Switch. I'm okay staying home playing that. I'm okay staying home reading my Bible. I'm okay staying at home. I don't have to be doing something every day. The days that I go like grocery shopping and things like that, honey, it's lovely, but I don't need to be doing something every day. I don't need to always be on a vacation. I don't need to always be out here doing something. And some of us, you're so bored with like real life, and it's crazy. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that some people will actually leave their home to do nothing at somebody else's home. Oh, my. And there's a lot of work to be done at your home. Whether it be like physical work, whether it be emotional work, whether it be spiritual work, there's a lot of work that you can be doing in your home. There's always something for you to do. You don't always have to be out here doing other stuff. Okay. So let's get to the next. So this is just a little rough draft of my schedule. Like I said, nothing set in stone. I don't do set in stone. However, I do have to have a routine because I just told you I could do nothing. Okay, so the first thing I have is morning prayer, meditation, devotion, journaling, book writing, whatever the Holy Spirit speaks to me about up on me getting up in the morning is the thing that I work on. I wrote a short story recently. I actually wrote two. One of them won't be available again until I believe the end of this year. The other one is available right now. It's a short story. I wrote that short story getting up. Okay, I wrote it getting up. So there is a part, just a sweet spot in the morning for me that I really get things done. Sometimes, like I said, it's Bible study. If I didn't do the Bible study that I wanted to do before I went to bed at night, I'll do it in the morning, turn on my music, worship, just pray, just spend time just thanking God for seeing another day. That is how I begin my morning. On the weekends, it's a bit different because my husband's at home and he's already got his little thing going on, folding the clothes, the TV, all that kind of stuff. I have a space in the home that I can still go and do those things. I make sure that that's how I wake up in the morning. The next thing I have is make breakfast. So like I say, on the weekends, I don't cook as much. Usually Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, my husband will cook, or we'll get some, I'll wait till later in the day to eat. And I'll just get some takeout or something like that Saturday and Sunday because it's like our rest days, especially Sunday. Those are my mandatory cooking days. Okay. My mandatory cooking days because for myself, like the ones that I set for myself is Monday through Friday. And that's if everybody is not at home. If everybody's not at home, if everybody's at home. If everybody's not at home. Okay. Because Kennedy's the only one home with me during the day. I'll make breakfast. If she's not here, I wouldn't make breakfast because I'm really not that big of a fan of breakfast food, okay? When she is here and I cook for her, I just go ahead and cook for myself too. So I'll make breakfast, and I make breakfast at the same time because my daughter is very much like her dad. She's very routine, very scheduled. She likes her breakfast at a certain time. I don't want homegirl to be hungry. I make her breakfast. The next thing I do in the morning is I have free time. This time that I'm making this video right now is free time. It's the free time that we do whatever we want to do. If you want to watch TV, if I want to make a video, if I want to play the game, it's free time. I don't owe nobody this time. It's my free time. If I wanted to extend my prayer time for the morning after I made her breakfast, I would do it also in this time. The next thing I do is start school by 9 to 10 a.m. Like I said, it's not set in stone. It very much depends on what I had to do in the morning. Honey, if my prayer time runs over, who am I to cut it short? Okay. And I make sure that we do school at least 3 days out of the week. However, we could do it the full 5, but at least 3. The program that I have going on, which I'm going to show you here in a second, it allows me to do the 3 days. Okay. It's good. I like it. But that's what we do. And then the next thing is start lunch by 10:30, 11, depending on what time we ended school. Believe it or not, it doesn't take all day long to teach children. I don't know what. I know the school is government funded, so they do that, but it don't take all day to teach children. So that's what we do. Start lunch by 10:30, 11. And remember, me starting lunch is my lunch, but it's my husband and son's dinner. Okay. And then sometimes I'll even go ahead and prep Kennedy's dinner, but she usually stops eating early with me because we're at home. The next thing that I do is outside. We can go outside, like go walk, which I kind of want to walk today, but I ordered a new seat for my bike, so I might actually ride the bike, like the indoor bike. The bike back there. Outside, errands, read, sing, craft, games, movies, or part-time job. Okay. So this is the time, the end part of the day is kind of the time that I just do other things, in in anticipation for the family to come home. Now, today is a special day because there's an event going on and the kids are going to be with my husband at this event. And I'm going to do my thing for the end of the day. And like I said, this would be the good time. I just can't, from my own experience and how much I like to participate in the home, I can't see how working a full-time job, when I say full-time, I mean like 40 plus hours a week. I can't see how that would be beneficial, especially when you have little children, and especially when you, like I said, you're so involved in the home. I'm not saying it can't be done. Perhaps you could work a job that's later on in the night, and then you're like, you're kind of working like overnights. I don't know. Because I really don't like working overnights either. You're going to have to get with God, talk to your husband. Y'all two come together and pray about it and see what best works for your family. I think, though, that a woman working a part-time job is just better suited for our strengths, honestly. And I'm not, like I said, I know everybody's different. I just know that a lot of women say they want to be working full time, but I know for myself, baby, I can't be working full time. I can't be working full time. It's just, I'm still worried about my kids. I'm still worried about the stuff that I have to do at home. You let me know if it works for you, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is homeschool. What are we using? So I think I'm actually going to put this on this video, but I'm going to separate this piece as well so that if you didn't want to watch all other stuff, you could just watch the homeschooling portion, okay? So give me just a second. I'll be right back. So here is my little bin, my little work bin. I don't always keep it in here. The stuff that I was using yesterday, I just put it in this little drawer. This is in one of those little drawers, even though excuse me, it says language, but that's not it. So like I said, I don't stick to any, it's structured in that the time is structured, in that there are certain skills that I want her to work on and be really good at. So we've implemented other things. I don't spend a lot of money. I'm not going to continue to spend a lot of money. I won't say that, some of these products I did have to invest in. She uses ABC Mouse, which I canceled yesterday, and I'm probably going to end up reinstating. It depends on if she asks for it. Because I subscribe to Hooked on Phonics, they send little things in every month. It's $15 a month. I'm going to show you that program here. But those are the only things right now that we're spending money on. So outside of buying these books, she is really good with counting, and she probably inherited that from my husband. He's good with numbers, so she's really good at math and things like that. I just really, really, really want to focus on her reading, because reading is a bit of a challenge, but it's also very important. Okay, so yeah, let's go here. These were completely free, and I just have her name on them so she can practice her name. She knows how to spell her name. Let me not get into all the things that she knows how to do. Let's just talk about the materials that I use, because this is going to be very long if I do that otherwise. I like to print off these little things. I'll take it apart. I'll have the little whiteboard and have her put a K on there, put an E, spell out her name on the whiteboard. I will have her trace this. We'll spell the name without this. Knowing your name is obviously important. I will link the website for this that I use for this that generates them. It's 100% free. This is another book that I use. It's the Big Preschool book. I like it. I know she is in kindergarten, if that's what you want to call it. But still, some of these concepts are good. I like this. You see where you can color all of the, you can color all of the letters that you need. It says all S's, so it lets you put it together. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a preschool concept, however, it's in a preschool book, but we can use it. Another thing I do is I put the little sticky notes in here like this, and you see how I'm sitting in here? So during my free time, I'll go ahead and put the sticky notes in the lesson that I would like to do for the day, for the week or whatever, so that when I go in there with her, I'm just flipping it directly to the page that we're working on, okay? This is another one. It's a big kindergarten book. It has some more. I don't know who comes up with this, I don't know who comes up with the stuff. Some of these things she doesn't know. Some of them she does know. Some of them are really easy for her. Some of them are really hard. But I do like this workbook. So I like to use workbooks. We'll do the things right in the workbook so I'll know what we worked on. And I don't want to keep up with all those pages. And again, I'll put the little markers on it. So this came from either Amazon or Walmart, I believe. This is another one of my favorites. I know this one came from Amazon. It's a comprehensive curriculum of basic skills. This one says pre-K as well. However, there are some concepts in here that we still need to work on. And some of them that I mean, you can't ever get enough of. She does, like I said, and then I have the same marker system. She does ABC Mouse, like I said. So some of the concepts she learned from there and just from watching like kiddie shows on TV. So I wouldn't put past like how much those things actually teach the children. However, I like to make sure that they're being learned by reinforcing it with these things. Here's our little whiteboard. I got this from Dollar Tree, and these are markers that I got from, I believe, Walmart. They came in a pack, and this is how we will write numbers or her name or anything like that. There's another one of our little name sheets. I just print off a bunch of them because I like to use them. So the Hooked on Phonics thing, they did come with stickers. I don't know if you can see it, show you that because it has a little QR code on it. So it came with a little sticker set. This all came in a little package. It's books that, very easy books. Let me go ahead and show you that she can learn how to read. There we go. So they're easy books that she can learn how to read. And then it corresponds with the workbook. The app corresponds with the workbook. Again, these principles are, you know, sort of advanced, but this is how kids learn. You kind of advance them slowly. And then it also has an app. So what we'll do is we'll do the lesson on the app. And this material just came in the other day. So we do the lesson on the app. Then we'll do the workbook. And then we'll finish off with reading her story. And what I also do in that same day is I'll do her name and then one activity out of the workbook. So that's kind of the order of how I roll things out. I don't overwhelm her because I want, when it's time for learning, I actually want her to be excited to sit down and not be annoyed. This is one thing that I'm sure to go over every single day. I made this. This resource is available on my website, I believe. I don't know if it's visible on the website. I'll link it for you. It's in the community post. If you go look at my community post, I have all of the teacher resources, like I call them the daycare resources. So this is available there. So this is what we do. These are our sight words that we're using right now. I just put them in there. We'll go over those. And it's really me teaching her how to put the sounds together and just how to, you know, how to look at the words by sight. We'll do this ABC thing. And we're doing so sometimes I'll let her go through and just point and tell me what the letters are. Then the other thing that we'll do is do the sound of the letters, okay? I do not. And I recently, like I said, let her be a part of a program where they begin singing the alphabet. And I don't really think that singing it helps you because you can get it like in order, but it doesn't help you to really know what it is that you're looking at. So what I do is make her do it out of order. I'll either do it backwards, or let's say I'll do this paper and then I'll start from here, because it helps her to not just be able to sing it, but know what's going on. I like this. And I'm showing you guys this because I don't want you to think that this has to be so complicated. It does take time. Like I said, it takes time out of your day, but what else are you doing on social media? Like, it's worth the time that it takes. This will take you no longer than like 30 minutes to teach your children. And this is the other part of this little book. This is just a folder that I got from HEB, and I put all these things in sheet protectors. They're download on my website. It doesn't come like this. So and then we'll do the sound, and then we'll do the letter, and then the whole book is like that. So this really, really helps. Outside of seeing them all together, this really helps to get the sound down and to get the actual letter. I hope that wasn't too loud in my microphone. So I really like this as well. That's what we do. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask a question and I will respond if I can respond. Okay. So as always, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.